My phone buzzed during lunch. It was my father, Gregory. "I disown you, don't ever call us." I stared at the screen. My hands were shaking, but my mind was strangely clear. I typed back one word. "Okay." Then I opened my laptop. I logged into my bank account. I found the automatic payment to my parents. $2,500 every single month. My finger hovered over the cancel button. This wasn't anger. This was accounting. I clicked it. Within 48 hours, my mother Melissa would call in panic. But right now, I was just Madison Harper, 32 years old, sitting in my office, watching my entire family collapse with one simple word. Okay. The text came at 1:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. I was eating a salad at my desk, reviewing audit reports for a hotel chain. My phone lit up. Dad's name flashed. I almost didn't open it. We hadn't spoken in 3 weeks, not since the argument about money, again. "Madison, I disown you. All communication goes through my lawyer. Don't ever call us." I read it twice. 3 times. My chest tightened. My hands started trembling, but something else happened too. Something cold and clear settled over me like ice water. I wasn't sad. I wasn't hurt. I was just done. I typed back. "Okay." One word, no explanation, no begging, just okay. I hit send and put my phone face down on my desk. You need to understand how I got here. My father Gregory always had rules, strict ones: be responsible, be useful, be the one who fixes problems. My brother Brandon got to be the golden child. He could fail and it was just bad luck. I failed and it was a character flaw. For 4 years, I'd been paying their mortgage. $2,500 every single month. They called me crying 4 years ago. The house was going into foreclosure. Dad's restaurant supply business had failed. "You're the only one who can help, Madison. You're the responsible one." So I helped. I sent money every month like clockwork. $120,000 total. I thought I was being a good daughter. I was wrong. I was just their ATM. I sat at my desk for 20 minutes. I didn't cry. I didn't call anyone. I just stared at the wall. My coworker Jenny walked by. "You okay?" she asked. I nodded. "Fine, just tired." She didn't believe me, but she left. I opened my laptop. As an auditor, I'm trained to find problems in financial systems, to trace money, to see patterns others miss. I'd been auditing my family for years without realizing it. Now it was time to close the books. I pulled up my bank account. There it was, the recurring transfer. $2,500 on the first of every month. Label, family support. I clicked on it. My hand was steady now. Cancel recurring payment. "Are you sure?" "Yes." I clicked confirm. I went back to work. I reviewed spreadsheets. I answered emails. I smiled at coworkers in the break room. But inside, my mind was racing. I thought about every time I'd sent that money. Every month for 4 years. Every time Dad called and said thank you but never really meant it. Every time Mom reminded me I was the responsible one, like it was a prison sentence. Every time Brandon got to live his life while I funded theirs, I thought about the word disown. Like I was property they no longer wanted. Like I was a bad investment they were cutting loose. They had no idea what they'd just done. They thought I'd break. They thought I'd beg. They were wrong. At 5 p.m., I left work. I drove to my bank, the one downtown with the marble floors and the private offices. I asked to speak with my account manager, Trevor. He smiled when he saw me. "Madison, good to see you. What can I help with?" I sat down. "I need to review all accounts where I'm listed as a co-signer or co-owner." His smile faded a little. "Is everything okay?" I nodded. "Everything's fine. I'm just doing some financial planning." He pulled up my file. There were 3 accounts. The mortgage payment I'd already canceled, a family cell phone plan, and a business credit line I'd co-signed for Dad 2 years ago. I pointed at each one. "I want off all of these, today." Trevor looked nervous. "The business credit line has a balance. If you remove yourself, your father will need to refinance or pay it off." I smiled. It wasn't a happy smile. "That's his problem now." Trevor printed the paperwork. I signed everything. My signature was neat and clean, no shaking, no hesitation, just my name over and over, ending every financial tie I had to them. When I walked out of that bank, the sun was setting. The sky was orange and purple. Beautiful. I felt lighter. Not happy, not sad, just lighter. Like I'd been carrying a backpack full of rocks for 4 years and I'd finally put it down. I got in my car and drove home. My phone stayed silent. They didn't know yet, but they would soon. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the text, "I disown you." Those words, so cold, so final. I got up at 2 a.m. and made tea. I sat at my kitchen table in the dark. That's when I remembered my Uncle Jeffrey, Dad's brother. He'd sent me something weird 2 weeks ago, a video file with no explanation. Just, look at this. I'd been too busy to watch it. I grabbed my phone and found the message. I pressed play. It was shaky footage from someone's phone. A family dinner at my parents' house. I wasn't there. I hadn't been invited. I heard voices. Laughter. Then my father's voice, loud and clear. She's not a kid. She's an ATM, a lonely one. She's so desperate for approval, she'd pay for the air we breathe. Everyone laughed. My brother Brandon's voice. It's honestly sad. I stopped the video. I didn't need to see more. I watched the video 3 more times. Each time I felt colder. They weren't just using me. They were mocking me. To my face, I was the responsible daughter. Behind my back, I was the family joke, the desperate one, the ATM. I thought about all the times I'd defended them, all the times I'd told myself they appreciated my help, all the times I'd felt guilty for even thinking about stopping the payments. I'd been so stupid. No, not stupid. Conditioned. When you grow up as the scapegoat, you learn that love is something you earn. You learn that your worth is measured by what you provide. You don't get affection for free. You buy temporary peace. You pay a tax to exist in your own family. I was done paying. Wednesday morning came. My phone stayed quiet. I went to work. I had a meeting with my boss at 10 a.m. She wanted to discuss a new audit project. A major hotel chain merger. I walked into her office. She smiled. Madison, you've been doing excellent work. I want you to lead this audit. It's a big responsibility. I nodded. I can do it. She looked at me carefully. Are you sure? You seem distracted lately. I met her eyes. I'm fine. I promise. I want this. She handed me the file. It was thick, complicated, exactly what I needed. Something to focus on, something I could control, something that had rules and logic and made sense. Unlike my family. I took the file and went back to my desk. I dove into work. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't disown you. Numbers just are. At 11 a.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Madison Harper. Silence, then heavy breathing, then my mother's voice, high-pitched, panicked. Madison, what did you do? I leaned back in my chair. Hello, Melissa. She hated when I called her by her first name. The bank called your father. The mortgage payment was rejected. It's due today. You need to fix this right now. I waited. I let the silence stretch. Madison, are you listening? Fix this. My voice was calm, flat. I was disowned, Melissa. All communication goes through my lawyer. I heard her gasp. What? What lawyer? Madison, don't be. I hung up. My hands weren't shaking anymore. They were perfectly steady. I went back to work. My phone exploded, text after text. My brother Brandon, you're pathetic. Dad is ruined because of you. Fix this. My Aunt Stephanie, your mother is hysterical. Whatever childish game you're playing, stop it and apologize. More from Brandon, we always knew you were selfish. More from Aunt Stephanie, you're breaking your mother's heart. I read every message. I didn't respond to a single one. They thought this was a tantrum. They thought I was trying to get attention. They thought if they yelled loud enough, I'd cave. They didn't understand. This wasn't emotion. This was business. I was closing accounts. I was cutting losses. I was doing exactly what I'd been trained to do as an auditor. Find the problem, remove it, move on. They were the problem. I was removing them. That night, I sat in my apartment alone. The silence was heavy. For the first time since Tuesday, I felt it. The grief. Not for them. For the family I thought I had. The family that never actually existed. I cried. Not loud, messy crying. Just quiet tears running down my face while I sat on my couch in the dark. I mourned the daughter who thought she could earn love through money. I mourned the girl who believed being responsible meant being valuable. I mourned the version of me who would have begged them to take me back. But I didn't call them. I didn't apologize. I just let myself feel it. And then I let it go. By midnight, I was done crying. I made a decision. This wasn't just about stopping payments. This was about the truth. Thursday morning, I got dressed for work. I put on my best suit, navy blue, professional. I did my makeup carefully. I looked in the mirror. I looked strong. I felt strong. At work, I had a presentation to give. The hotel merger audit. 20 executives in the room. I walked in with my notes. I spoke clearly, confidently. I answered every question. When I finished, my boss nodded. Excellent work, Madison. I smiled. Thank you. I walked out feeling powerful. Not because I'd hurt my family, because I'd finally chosen myself. Because I was good at my job, because my worth wasn't tied to their approval anymore. I went back to my desk. My phone was still blowing up. I turned it off. I had work to do, real work, important work, not the emotional labor of managing their dysfunction. Friday afternoon, I went to lunch with Jenny from work. We went to a small cafe downtown. She ordered a sandwich. I ordered soup. She looked at me. "Okay, what's going on? You've been weird all week." I hesitated. Then I told her, not everything, just the basics. My family disowned me. I stopped paying their bills. She stared at me. "Wait, you were paying their mortgage?" I nodded. "For 4 years." Her jaw dropped. "Madison, that's insane." I shrugged. "I know." She reached across the table. "You did the right thing." I felt my throat tighten. "Did I?" She squeezed my hand. "Yes, family doesn't treat you like an ATM. That's not love, that's abuse." Hearing someone else say it made it real. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't cruel. I was just done being used. Over the weekend, I made a decision. I couldn't just walk away quietly. They'd already told people I was the problem. I'd seen the texts. They were painting me as selfish, ungrateful, cruel. I needed to tell the truth. Not for revenge, for the record, for anyone else in my family who might be watching. I opened my laptop. I started writing an email. The subject line, "Ray, financial support for Gregory." I listed every person I could think of. My extended family. Dad's business contacts, people from their church. I kept it simple, professional, cold. To all, as I have been formally disowned by Gregory as of Tuesday, this email is to notify you that my ongoing financial support has concluded. For transparency, I have attached a ledger of support I provided over 48 months, totaling $120,000. I have also attached a video from a recent family gathering that provides necessary context. I attached 2 files. The first was a spreadsheet, every payment, every date, every amount. $2,500 times 48 months, $120,000. The second was the video my uncle had sent, the one where Dad called me an ATM, where they all laughed. I read the email one more time. My finger hovered over send. This would change everything. This would blow up their reputation. This would hurt them, good. They'd hurt me first. I clicked send. The email went out to 47 people. I closed my laptop. I made dinner. I ate slowly. I watched TV. I didn't check my phone. I didn't need to. I knew what was coming. The truth was out there now. Let them deal with it. Let them explain to everyone why they called their daughter an ATM after she gave them $120,000. By Sunday morning, my inbox was full. Responses to the email. Some were shocked, some were supportive, some were angry at my parents, but one message stood out. It was from a law firm I didn't recognize. The subject line, "Cease and desist." I opened it. My heart pounded. The email accused me of defamation, harassment, tortious interference with Dad's business. It demanded I issue a public retraction and apology. It threatened a lawsuit for $75,000. I read it twice. Then I laughed. Actually, I laughed, out loud, in my empty apartment. They were threatening to sue me for telling the truth. They thought a scary letter would make me back down. They were wrong. I forwarded the email to a lawyer I knew, a family law attorney named Sarah Chen. She had a reputation for being ruthless. I needed to be ruthless. Sarah called me Monday morning. "Madison, I read everything, the email, the video, the cease and desist. They don't have a case." I felt relief wash over me. "You're sure?" She laughed. "Defamation requires the statements to be false. You have a $120,000 spreadsheet and a video of them admitting to the behavior. They're bluffing." I hesitated. "Sarah, there's something else. I think my dad's been doing something illegal." She went quiet. "What do you mean?" I took a breath. "He manages a medical fund for an elderly neighbor. Mrs. Harrison, she has cancer. Dad volunteered to handle the account, but I've seen his paperwork. The numbers don't add up. I think he's been stealing from her." Sarah's voice went cold. "Do you have proof?" I nodded. "I have access to some old files. I was helping him with bookkeeping last year. I can get them." Sarah called back 2 days later. Her voice was grim. "Madison, you were right. It's worse than you thought. Your father has systematically embezzled $60,000 from Mrs. Harrison's medical fund over 3 years. I felt sick. $60,000 from a cancer patient. Sarah continued. "He falsified records. He moved money between accounts. He covered his tracks, but not well enough. This isn't a family dispute anymore. This is a felony." I sat down. My hands were shaking again, not from fear, from rage. He'd been stealing from me, stealing from a dying woman, and acting like he was the victim. "What do we do?" I asked. Sarah's voice was firm. "We will report it. I'll contact Mrs. Harrison's family. They need to know, and we'll file a criminal complaint." I nodded. Do it. The news spread fast. Within a week, people in their community knew. My father's name was everywhere, not in a good way. My brother Brandon panicked. He did the stupidest thing possible. He went on Facebook. He posted a long, rambling status. I can't believe what my sister is doing to our family. She's always been jealous. My father is a good man. She was the auditor. She had access to all the books for that fund. Now $60,000 is missing and she's framing our father to steal his house. She's the one who stole the money. I read it 3 times. He just publicly confirmed the $60,000 amount. He'd admitted I was the auditor. He'd given Mrs. Harrison's family a target. My lawyer called me. Brandon just confessed to conspiracy in a public post. The Harrisons are filing criminal charges against both of them. I didn't feel happy. I felt empty. This wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want my father in jail. I didn't want my brother charged. I just wanted them to see me, to value me, to stop using me. But they couldn't. They wouldn't. So this was justice. Cold, hard legal justice. My phone rang. Unknown number again. I answered. Madison Harper. Heavy breathing. Then my father's voice. Broken, scared. Madison, please. They're going to arrest me. The police are talking about fraud. You have to help me. You're my daughter. I closed my eyes. I was your daughter. Then you disowned me. His voice cracked. I didn't mean it. You know I didn't mean it. Please, you're the auditor. You can fix this. Just tell them it was a mistake. Give me money for a better lawyer. I thought about it for exactly 5 seconds. I thought about helping him, about being the fixer one more time, about paying for his lawyer, about saving him like I always had. Then I remembered the video. She's an ATM, a lonely one. I remembered the text. I disown you. I remembered 4 years of $2,500 payments. I remembered $60,000 stolen from a dying woman. My voice was calm. Talk to your lawyer, Gregory. I heard him start to cry. Real, ugly crying. Madison, please, I'm your father. I felt nothing. You disown me, remember. I hung up. I blocked his number. I blocked my mother's number. I blocked Brandon's. I blocked Aunt Stephanie's. I blocked everyone. I was done, completely done. They'd taught me a lesson. Love isn't transactional. But they'd been treating it like it was. Now they were learning the real cost. The trial happened in the fall. I didn't attend. Sarah kept me updated. Brandon took a plea deal. He testified against Dad. He avoided jail but got probation. His reputation was destroyed. Dad was convicted. Felony fraud, 3 years in state prison. The house went into foreclosure. The bank seized it, sold it at auction. Everything they'd built, everything I'd tried to save, gone. My mother called me once from a new number. I didn't recognize it, so I answered. Madison, please. Your father is in prison. Brandon lost his job. We lost the house. We have nothing. You have to help us. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just said, you had me. You had $120,000. You had my loyalty. You threw it all away. That's not my fault. I hung up. I changed my number the next day. 6 months later, I got promoted, senior director of audits. My boss called me into her office. Madison, you've handled incredible pressure this year with absolute professionalism. That's the leadership we need. I walked out with a new contract, a new salary, a new office on a higher floor. I stood by the window looking out at the city. I didn't cry. I didn't smile. I just felt solid. My worth wasn't something they got to decide anymore. It wasn't tied to their approval. It wasn't measured by the checks I wrote. It was just mine, a fact, written in a contract, recognized by people who actually valued my work. That weekend, I started a blog. I called it The Scapegoat's Ledger. I wrote about financial abuse, about being the responsible one, about keeping receipts. The response was overwhelming. Hundreds of messages from people who understood, who'd lived it too. It's been a year now. I heard Dad got out of prison early. I heard Brandon works in a warehouse. I heard Mom lives with Aunt Stephanie. I heard they tell people I abandoned them. I don't care. I have a new life now. New friends, a new apartment, a promotion, peace. Real peace. Not the kind you buy by sending money every month. Not the kind you earn by being useful. Just peace. The silence in my apartment isn't heavy anymore. It's light. It's mine. I wake up every morning and make coffee. I go to work, I came home, I write. I exist without carrying their weight. That text changed everything. I disown you. They thought they were punishing me. They were setting me free. What would you do in this situation? If you've ever been the fixer, the ATM, the responsible one, share this story. You're not alone. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about choosing yourself. Drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you.